There's a peculiar silence that settles into a home after years of noise. The footsteps have faded. The voices moved on. If you're sitting in that silence right now, wondering who you are without the roles that defined you, this is for you. Before we begin, tell me, where in the world are you watching from? And if you're ready to walk this journey together, subscribe. We're building a community of souls who understand this season. The silence you're hearing isn't emptiness, it's space. And in that space, something remarkable waits to emerge. Today, we discover what that is. We discover you, perhaps more fully than you've known yourself in decades. Take a breath. Let's begin this gentle journey home to yourself. At first, the quiet feels wrong. You wake, and the house doesn't wake with you. No rush to make breakfast for anyone else. No schedule to coordinate. Meeting only your own needs feels strange, almost uncomfortable. You listen for sounds that don't come anymore. Footsteps, doors opening, voices asking questions. The sounds that once drove you to seek peace are now the sounds you miss most. This is the paradox. You wanted moments to yourself, and now you have endless moments. But they don't feel like you imagine. They feel too big, too open, too undefined. And in that feeling lives the beginning of something important. This discomfort is your first teacher. Here's a question that might catch you off guard. Who were you before you became all the things you've been? Before parent, spouse, caretaker? Before all the roles that shaped your days for so many years? Can you remember? There was a version of you who had dreams that weren't about anyone else, who had interests belonging only to you, who knew what brought joy without considering anyone else's needs first. That person didn't disappear. They simply became quieter, moving to the background while other parts took center stage. Now, in this new silence, that earlier version is stirring. They're wondering if there's room for them again. The beautiful truth? There's not only room, this is their time. We need to acknowledge something that doesn't get spoken about enough. It's okay to grieve, even when your children are thriving, even when you're proud of their independence, even when you know this is how it's supposed to be. You can grieve the everyday moments now gone. The simple ritual of making someone's favorite meal, the knock asking for advice, the feeling of being needed in that specific way. This grief doesn't mean you're not happy for them. It means you're human. Humans grieve transition, even good ones. If you've been crying at unexpected moments, wondering what's wrong with you, nothing is wrong. You're grieving. Honor it first. If this felt real to you, leave a heart below. For decades, your identity was wrapped in caring for others. These roles gave you purpose, direction, a clear sense of who you were. But now those roles have shifted. Your children don't need you the same way. And suddenly, you're facing a question that feels both frightening and strangely exciting. Who am I now? This isn't a crisis, though it might feel like one. This is opportunity, an opportunity to define yourself by choice rather than circumstance, to explore dormant parts of yourself, to discover you are so much more than the roles you've played. As important as those roles were, you are a full, complex, fascinating person with depths yet to be explored. The quiet house has given you something precious, time and space to do that exploring. Here's something you might need to hear. It's okay to be selfish now, not cruel or thoughtless, but selfish in the sense that you can finally put your desires first. Eat dinner whenever you want. Leave dishes in the sink if you're tired. Spend Saturday doing absolutely nothing productive. Pursue interests no one else cares about. For so long, your decisions filtered through other people's needs. Will this work for the children? Will this inconvenience my partner? Those filters served you well during certain seasons, but this season is different. This season asks you to remember that your preferences matter, your desires are valid, your joy is equally important. Learning to center yourself isn't selfishness, it's self-respect, and it's absolutely necessary now. Living with increased solitude is an experiment requiring curiosity rather than judgment. Some days, being alone feels like freedom. You'll relish the quiet, moving at your own pace. Other days, being alone feels like loneliness. You'll ache for conversation, shared laughter, another present. Both experiences are valid. Both are part of the experiment. Approach your solitude with gentle curiosity. What does it teach you? What emerges when you're not performing any role? What do you discover when there's no one to distract you from your own thoughts? Solitude, when we stop fighting it, becomes a powerful teacher. It shows us what we truly enjoy versus what we did because others expected it. Through this experiment, you begin to know yourself in a deeper, truer way. Let's start with something concrete. Your mornings. For years, they were probably defined by other people's needs, getting others ready, managing schedules, rushing, always rushing. But now, your mornings belong to you. What would you like them to be? Would you like to wake early and watch the sunrise? Sleep until your body naturally wakes? Enjoy slow breakfast with a book? Start each day with movement, music, silent, prayer. There's no right answer, only your answer. Try different approaches. 1 week, wake at dawn. Another week, linger in bed. Notice how each feels. Notice what energizes you. You're not being lazy. You're learning. You're paying attention to your needs and preferences, perhaps for the first time in a very long time. Chapter 9. Forgotten Passion. Think back to your younger years, before responsibilities took over. What did you love to do? What brought joy? What made hours disappear because you were so absorbed? Maybe it was painting, writing, playing an instrument, maybe hiking, gardening, birdwatching, maybe cooking experimental meals, learning languages, building things. Maybe it was something you were told was impractical, frivolous, so you set it aside, told yourself you'd come back someday when there was time, and decades passed. That thing you loved became something you used to do from another lifetime. But here's the truth, it's not too late. Whatever you gave up, you can pick it back up. Not to become an expert, simply because it brought you joy. And joy, at this stage, is reason enough. If picking up old passions feels overwhelming, start impossibly small. Don't commit to painting a masterpiece. Just buy watercolors and make marks on paper. Don't commit to writing a novel. Just write 3 sentences in a journal. Don't commit to playing concert. Just take out that dusty instrument and hold it. Play 1 note. Don't commit to hiking mountains. Just walk to the end of your street, noticing the trees. The size of the action matters far less than the act of beginning. You're saying yes to something just for you. You're reclaiming a piece of who you were, who you've always been beneath the roles. Small beginnings have a way of growing, but it all starts with starting. And starting can be so small, it feels almost insignificant. That's exactly right. That's exactly enough. One reason we don't return to old interests is fear of being bad at them. We're at an age where we're supposed to know things, be good at things. Being a beginner feels uncomfortable, even embarrassing. But consider this, being a beginner is actually a gift. It means you're growing, learning, not stuck in who you've always been. And at this stage, you have something younger beginners don't: patience, perspective. You understand skill comes with practice, that mistakes are information, that joy is in the process. Yes, you might paint badly at first, play wrong notes, write awkward sentences, feel clumsy. And that's perfect. That's being alive. That's being willing to expand rather than contract. Give yourself permission to be terrible at something new, to learn slowly, to do things purely for pleasure, not results. This permission is freedom. Your home has probably been organized around other people for a long time. Common areas for family gatherings, kitchen stocked with everyone's favorites, schedule built around others' comings and goings. But now, you can reclaim this space as yours. This doesn't mean erasing family traces or pretending your life before didn't exist. It means thoughtfully deciding what stays and what changes. Maybe that spare bedroom becomes your art studio, reading room, meditation space. Maybe you rearrange furniture to suit your preferences. Maybe you clear out clutter from others' phases of life. Maybe you finally paint a room the color you've always wanted. Your home should reflect who you are now, not just who you've been. It should support the life you're living. This isn't erasing the past. This is honoring your present. In all the noise of earlier life stages, certain feelings and truths stayed buried. There wasn't time or space to examine them. But now, in the quiet, things rise to the surface. You might discover you're more introverted than you realized. Previous social activity was obligation. or more extroverted than you thought. You might realize you've been carrying resentments you never processed, or gratitudes you never fully felt. You might discover some relationships were sustained by proximity rather than genuine connection, or that others are deeper than you'd acknowledge. The quiet doesn't create these truths. It allows you to finally see them, and seeing them, even when uncomfortable, is how you grow. This is part of rediscovering yourself, uncovering what was always there but hidden beneath the surface. You're not alone. Someone out there feels just like you. Time feels different now, doesn't it? You have more unstructured time than in years, yet you're more aware than ever that time is precious and limited. This creates interesting tension. You want to savor moments, move slowly, not rush, but you don't want to waste the time you have left. This tension is actually healthy. It means you're aware of time's value. The key is finding your balance between rest and engagement, between peace and purpose, between being and doing. Some days lean toward rest, others toward engagement. Neither is wrong. You're learning to listen to what each day asks of you, what you need, what has energy behind it. You're learning to trust your own timing rather than operating on someone else's schedule. And you're discovering that time, when you're truly present to it, expands. Your friendships might need attention now. Some friends were connected through your children, other parents from school events, sports games. Those connections may have naturally faded. Other friendships might have been sustained by convenience, and you're realizing they don't run deep. Then there are friendships that matter deeply but have been neglected because you were so busy. Now is the time to be intentional. Reach out to people you genuinely care about. Invest in relationships that nourish you. Be willing to let go of connections that drain you. You might also discover a need for new friendships, particularly with people in similar life stages who understand what you're experiencing. This takes courage. Making new friends as an older adult feels vulnerable, but it's absolutely possible and absolutely worth it. Don't settle for loneliness when friendship is available. As you navigate this season, you'll inevitably compare yourself to others. Friends who seem to have transitioned smoothly, people who appear to have things figured out, social media images of others traveling, pursuing hobbies, looking fulfilled. When you compare your internal experience to their external appearance, you might feel like you're failing, not adjusting well enough, not happy enough, not doing enough. But here's what you're not seeing. Everyone struggles with transition. Everyone has moments of loneliness, confusion, grief. Most people don't show you those parts. They show you the polished version, the good moment. Your comparison is between your whole messy truth and their carefully curated highlights. That's not fair to you. The only comparison that matters is between who you are now and who you're becoming. Are you learning, growing, being gentle with yourself? That's enough. There's a transformation that happens if you stay with the silence long enough instead of constantly trying to fill it. The silence stops feeling like absence and starts feeling like present. It becomes not the lack of something, but the presence of something else. Space, peace, possibility. You begin to hear your thoughts more clearly. Notice your rhythms and preferences. Sense what brings energy and what depletes it. The silence becomes a companion, even a friend. It's the space where you can finally hear yourself think, feel yourself feel, be yourself without performance. This doesn't mean you won't still want human connection, but it means time alone stops being something to endure and becomes something valuable. You're learning the difference between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness hurts, solitude nourishes. When you transform silence into companionship, you're never truly alone. Your body is also going through changes in this season, and that's part of what you're rediscovering. Maybe you have less energy than you used to. Maybe things hurt that didn't hurt before. Maybe you're noticing how your body has aged, bringing up complicated feeling. This is part of the journey too. Rediscovering yourself means rediscovering your relationship with your physical self. Can you approach your body with compassion rather than criticism? Work with current limitations rather than resenting them? Find new forms of movement and nourishment that honor where you are now. Your body has carried you through everything. It's raised children, worked hard, survived stress, and countless challenges. It deserves gratitude, not judgment. As you rediscover yourself in this quiet house, remember, you're embodied. Learning to be at home in your body at this age is part of being at home with yourself. Your life used to be full of rituals centered around others, bedtime routines, Sunday dinners, holiday traditions. Many have ended or changed, leaving a gap. But here's an opportunity. Create new ritual just for you. A ritual doesn't have to be elaborate. It's simply something you do regularly with intention, marking time and creating meaning. Maybe it's morning tea in your favorite chair, Friday night movie, Saturday farmers market visits, a bedtime routine that helps you transition into rest, weekly phone calls with friends, monthly solo adventures somewhere new. These personal rituals create structure in days that might otherwise feel too open. They give you things to look forward. They become anchors in time, and they're yours. No one else has to understand or participate. They're how you're learning to care for yourself, to create a life that feels intentional rather than accidental. Pay attention to the stories you're telling yourself about this season. Are you telling yourself it's all downhill from here? That your best years are behind you? Or are you telling yourself this is a time of possibility, freedom, time to finally focus on yourself? The stories we tell shape our experience profoundly. Two people in identical circumstances can have completely different experiences based on their narrative. If you're holding a narrative of decline and loss, that's what you'll see everywhere. But if you're holding a narrative of transformation and possibility, you'll see opportunities where others see endings, freedom where others see emptiness, invitation where others see loss. Your narrative is a choice. It's not about denying difficulty or pretending everything's perfect. It's about choosing which aspects you focus on and amplify. Right now, today, you can choose a story that serves you better. What if this quiet house isn't an ending, but a beginning? Comment your story. This is a safe place. For so long, your life was shaped by asking, what do they need? But now, a different question becomes central. What do I want? This might be harder to answer than you expect. You might have lost touch with what brings you joy, what interests you, what calls to you. So you have to learn to ask this question and actually listen for the answer. Start small. What do I want for breakfast? What do I want to do this afternoon? Gradually work up to bigger questions. What do I want my days to feel like? What do I want to learn? What do I want to create? What do I want to experience before I die? Some answers come quickly. Others take time. You're excavating desires that have been buried. You're learning to listen to a voice inside yourself that hasn't had much space to speak. With practice, that voice gets clearer, stronger, more confident, and following it leads you back to yourself. The quiet house you're living in isn't empty. It's full of possibility, space for you to expand into, invitation. The silence isn't absence, it's present. Your presence, finally and fully. This season is a gift. Not always easy or comfortable, but real nonetheless. You get to know yourself in a deeper way than ever before. You get to choose, intentionally, who you want to be for this next chapter. The house that seemed so quiet, so empty, it's actually holding you, giving you space to breathe, think, feel, become. It's your sanctuary, your starting point for this journey of rediscovery. If this resonated, please share it with someone sitting in their own quiet house. Tell me in the comments, what are you discovering about yourself? Your story matters. Subscribe and be part of a community that understands. Until we meet again, may you find yourself in the silent. May you recognize your own beauty. May you know the quiet house isn't an ending, but a doorway. The journey home to yourself is the most important journey you'll ever take, and you're already on your way.